And in the third quarter, our two best players, Luka and KP, really stepped up their defense, and it set a completely different tone in the second half. To be able to hold them to 19 in the third quarter, that set us up for an opportunity to win the game. So Luka and KP at the defensive end, you can talk about, all of Luka's spectacular stuff offensively. KP did some really great things offensively, but those two guys defensively were the difference in the third quarter. And, when those two guys play that way at the defensive end, it brings our defense to another level.
All right, we'll start questions with Tim McMahon. Please say your name and outlet.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Rick, what do you like best about what you're seeing on the offensive end of the floor right now?
I like the recognition. I like the offensive energy. We are striking a pretty good balance of inside outside. I gotta look at the metrics of it for the first couple games to get a better idea. You can always attack the rim more in the playoffs. I think that'll be an emphasis for both teams going into game 3. But look, to this point, we've been very focused and very determined, and we've just got to make sure that continues. It's a 7-game series, regardless of what the score is in wins, losses after 2 games. Told our guys, enjoy this one tonight. Maybe on the plane tomorrow, but then we get off that plane tomorrow, we got to refocus and get ready for game 3. And we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to competing. And I know we're going to have a great building and a building with a lot of hungry fans that haven't been there in a long time.
Okay, Kevin.
Kevin Gray, 105 through the Fan, Dallas, Texas. Rick, you said that this was a business trip coming to Los Angeles. What was the message and mentality coming into tonight's game to play with the sense of urgency, coming out and starting this first quarter strong the way that you did tonight?
Well, we're a young team, but we have some experience under our belts, from last year, and we have some other young veteran guys, Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway Jr., that have played in playoff series before, so, these guys know what it's about. And look, frankly, we didn't have to get into a lot of cliche type stuff. Our guys are hungry to compete. They're hungry to play for each other. We've done that well for the first 2 games. And again, the challenge is always, when you win a game or 2 games in a playoff series, how do you measure up against the human nature curve? When a lot of teams will have letdowns, and one of our real challenges will be to keep up this level of intensity and this level of fight.
Callie?
Rick, you mentioned the second half defense. What was Kawhi doing so effectively in the first half when he scored 30 points? And what were you guys able to discuss at halftime or take advantage of in the second half to kind of slow him down?
Well, in the first half, he was doing anything he wanted. And it was a combination. We had some loose offensive possessions, and they were just running it down our throats and just driving it through us. And we looked at 3 clips of it at halftime. And, the coaching staff challenged the team, to make a stand defensively. We've got, if we're gonna have a chance to win this game, we've got to stand in there and we got to make these guys come through us. And look, they're a great team and they're still going to score points, but they weren't taking the liberties that they were in the first half. And the third quarter defense, that group that started the third quarter really helped set the tone.
Eddie?
Eddie Sefko, Mavs.com. Rick, he didn't score a point, but Dirk was in the building there behind the bench. I'm wondering how that came about and how good it was to have him there to, I don't know, for any kind of moral support that there might have been.
Yeah, I saw him and Jessica in the hotel yesterday. It gives you a profound lift, when you're in between first two games in the playoffs and you see that playoff warrior, who we've been through so many battles with. And he said that he was going to be coming to the game, which was great news. And I certainly believe that him being there tonight you know, was a lucky charm for us. You know, it never hurts, never hurts.
Vincent?
Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Rick, you said earlier that you didn't have to rely on cliches to motivate your guys tonight. But when you saw that the way the playoff sort of bracket faked itself out with the Clippers losing games to position itself to be this matchup, does that provide enough motivation for guys and you don't have to say it, or do you mention something like that?
Hey, this time of year, you shouldn't need extra motivation. You know, NBA playoff basketball is a self-explanatory adjective. You know, it is raw passion. It's all about team. It's all about one thing, and that is a group of guys, you know, getting together and making a stand on every possession. And if you can't get excited for that, you know, you should be in some other line of work, because they're not pulling people off the street to do these jobs.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it there because we have Tim